Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back to the 11th hour. So, I had to give in. I hate that it feels like I'm getting just less competent as far as solving puzzles in my old age. But in this case, I don't think it's particularly my fault. These, this puzzle is to balance the two numbers to get them to say 81. We did that. So, I'm going to follow the solution on the walkthrough that I have up and see if there was just something here that I clicked the wrong solution for the game. And if that's the case, then this game desperately needs a remaster to fix its programming more than Night Dive Studios' re-release of the game obviously did. Or if it just doesn't give you any feedback when you solve the puzzle. So it says to press the 5, 25, 10, and 10 on the top row. Okay, and we'll see if these buttons being down do match some pattern. So maybe you have to match both this and this, which the help there is not helping very much. And how the hint Rolling Rock bottle cap somehow relates to this, I don't know. Now it says on the bottom row, you do the 10, the 10, the 1, and the 10. So, not this one. So, take note, I had the solution. And I just had the solution again.
Thinking about the solution next time.
And at this point, that should have allowed me to do this and click on this. And it's just not doing that. Like, it's just Rolling Rock bottle cap. So, yeah. So either I played the game out of order, or the game is just not running on a modern computer correctly. And what it's not working with in particular seems to be its own checking of puzzles. It is also, I think, worth mentioning that there's literally just like no not that much game here. When I'm scrolling down this walkthrough, sure, it is just giving me all of the solutions to all the puzzles, but it looks like there's probably maybe 10 more. And that's kind of it. So here we have a walkthrough that will tell me the solution. So what it's telling me is to do this, and then this, to this, and then this, to that, And there's a lot of steps here too. It's looking like 50 steps. And then that to that. Then it's saying move this one to there. And then that one to there. And then that one to here. And then that one to there. Then it's saying, and we pretty much did do this, that one to there, and then that one to there, and then that one to there, and that one to there. Pretty much we've done all these moves. And it says move this one, and then this one over here, and then down here, and then here. And that was further than I ever got, so I was just going in circles mentally at that point. Now it wants me to move this one to this one to this location, and then it wants me to move this one to this one to this location. Then it wants me to move this over here, and then this down here, and then this here, and then this here. And there's still quite a lot at this point. This one to this one. It's probably a recursive solution that we're doing, but yeah, certainly can't be super happy with the solution. Feels like what they should have done is had a single white and black piece to have to switch places first, and then give us a bigger, more complicated version of this puzzle later. I hope I'm doing this right. So we've got it, but boy, is that a lot of puzzle solutions. And boy, does that kind of feel like too much work for the first instance of a puzzle like this.
You'll not find the next one as pleasant.
Okay. So, according to the walkthrough, there should be a secret passage here.
You're dead. Wrong.
Oh, you have to drag your mouse.
Think 11 is your lucky number.
You have to drag the left click sometimes.
I don't think 11 is your lucky number. I don't think 11 is your lucky number.
might have to change the graphics.
Keep at it, Carl. Even a blind pig finds a truffle occasionally.
So, just like very carefully, you can zoom in. And then you just have a waving finger.
I don't think 11 is your lucky number.
So either I can't enter the puzzle, enter that area until I've solved the other puzzle. I mean, we should just look.
Can't you think for yourself? Have you always gone running into
See, I've tried double clicking. I've tried left clicking. Maybe there's something I missed. Let me just read the walkthrough from the beginning, just in case there was some trigger. Let's see. When you first start the game, you open the book to get your first riddle, winter coat worn for a mixer. From the house entrance, go forward to the right and enter the library. Pick up the bottle of tonic water from the top of the fireplace. Pick up the bottle of tonic water. Interesting phrasing.
I have a dead plan for more iteration.
Like, there's a lot of little things you can look at. But I really wasn't thinking I would pick up anything. We clicked on the tonic water and it gave us a cutscene.
If you only had a brain.
So I'm going to double click.
Frontal lobotomy required for this.
I'm going to try right clicking on it. Like, right clicking doesn't do anything. I'll try the middle mouse button and the mouse wheel. Not that either one, any of those would be anything.
Maybe solitaire is a better game for you.
Let's see. After it says you pick up the bottle of tonic water from the top of the fireplace, then you get the rolling rock bottle cap. You go back to the library and then up to the staircase, and then you enter the place with the cash register. You put in that solution, and that should be the next thing that you have done. And I'm just gonna save here, and we'll check what the map is.
You're getting closer.
Like, we've gotten the hull done and everything, so there's only one more puzzle even in this section. So it does seem like at least on 2 of the puzzles you were able to solve them. I did want to see if we could change the settings. I don't think you can, because it said you had to reset the game anyways if you changed the graphic settings. So if I am going to have to exit out and reset the graphics and see if maybe these new high definition the high definition graphics just are glitched, I don't know. You're getting the ability to see more things and just zoom in on more things as you solve puzzles. It's just kind of sucky that they don't seem to really matter. Like, this door is wide open and it still won't let you through. It's a little weird that a city wouldn't just demolish a house like this. Like, or an angry mob wouldn't just burn down a house like that. Like, it doesn't really make sense to that it would just be boarded up. Like, I don't know who's even boarding up the house. Alright. We'll start the puzzle again. It's fully reset, so maybe there's just a mistake counter there, or it just loses. It loses its position. So 5, 5, 25, 10, 10. And then the last 4 here should be 10, 10, 1, 10. Which that shape would not balance at all. Okay. I guess what we do here is we'll just switch between different 5s and see what happens. Unless this puzzle's changed.
Curse you!
Okay, that is super weird. Super weird. So some solutions just don't work, even though they're the right solution.
Now why the heck would I want you to find this? I've seen bird droppings smarter than you.
I guess maybe some of these things are just things you have to click on later, but you're really just getting led around by the nose, as it were. And if you don't have an eyeball to click on, then you shouldn't even bother with it. Although this is the thing you're supposed to be grabbing. So we're getting more backstory. Let's play.
I'm researching a story in the Stauf mansion. You're the only person who survived an encounter with the mansion.
Who told you that?
Everyone else has either disappeared or died.
It's all just stories.
Yeah, I don't know if she was in the first series, and we're really getting not much here. Like,
Just sit anywhere, honey. Menus around the table.
so she has like a fake hand, although I don't even know if it was equipped in that shot. It's only in like this shot that she has a fake hand. Which a toy maker might make a hand like that. I don't know if that's supposed to be a spoiler. And then if we click help,
Artsy, excited, lecture.
AEL. Like, I don't know how those are supposed to really be hints to anything. But I suppose that means we're supposed to go to the art room. And we'll see if we can get into the art room now. Because if we can't, then we have no idea what we're doing. So we can even check the map and see that everything has been done. Well, that's the music room, actually. The art room would be the gallery. And apparently we've already done everything in the gallery. Interesting. Let's do this properly and see if we can now go through the music room door. Or if we're supposed to look at the art in the hallway, upstairs, or if we're supposed to figure out how they go through the secret passage to the gallery that I guess is behind the clock. It feels like some integration of the previous game would have been nice here. Yeah, even if you just threw in the puzzles and they were already solved, or it just threw a pop-up that said this puzzle is optional and won't progress the story in any way, but you can play it a second time. That would be interesting with just the new graphics. I think that would be interesting. So you're in a crawl space. And that brought us to the gallery. I don't think we were able to do that before. And I don't want to just run through the game using walkthrough, so I'm gonna give it an attempt before I decide the game is either glitched or otherwise.
I thought you writers were quick on your feet.
But he's totally not appreciated that the game is just insulting you every time you click on something. You should just say nothing. Easy enough. Here you have a famous painting, or at least a rendition of a famous painting. I feel like whoever drew that or scanned that in, one or the other, probably took some appreciation from that. There was a music puzzle in the 7th Guest. I remember that was extremely long and irritating. Hopefully we don't run into something similar to that. This really turns into just a hidden object game, though, at this point. And hidden object games are always a little weird because they always feel like they're a little bit higher quality than you would think they would be. And they often have nicely animated 3 or 4 intro cutscenes, and then they devolve into pretty much never seeing the character at all. Here's the guy, and there was a puzzle around this in the first game. I guess the lit one is the one to be concerned about. And here's another, I think, famous, slightly creepy painting. Now, the person that owns this house is supposed to have been a rich toy maker, but I really have to question if he could have been that rich to afford some of these paintings, but whatever. And if we walk over here, that takes us out.
It couldn't be referring to you.
Hmm. Let's see, well... does seem like you can just kind of go anywhere. But it's weird for the game to insult you when you're doing the right thing. And I feel like you're doing the right thing here. This is, I suppose, a loading animation, hiding some loading. But I think I may have to just resolve to using a walkthrough. There's it's kind of a lot of things here that I don't want to click on because I've been trained that if I click on something, the game's gonna make fun of me. And even when I do something right, the game's gonna make fun of me.
Say there, what could this be?
Like, we're looking for a puzzle, and clearly the concept here is to convince the player that there's more game than there actually is by having you wander around and have to find the puzzles before you could do the puzzles. I don't feel like Myst was ever really like that. I think you fairly quickly could find a puzzle if you were looking for a puzzle. Except for, I guess, all the times when the puzzle was extremely obscured and you had to do many multiple steps that didn't feel like they were connected in any way.
Got you on the horns of a dilemma, eh, Carl?
So, yeah, let's just look at it at the walkthrough and see if we can figure this out. Look at the painting on the left side of the far wall. There is then on the beast man in the middle of the painting. Your next riddle says a heart attack could put you in the ground. Turn around and go through the green picture on the left to leave the gallery again. What? Artsy excited lecher is our current hint. So what maybe... okay. Look at the painting on the left side of the far wall, then on the beast man in the middle of the painting. So, oh. So they don't know what a satyr is, apparently. Satyr and nymphs. So I did have to click on that. This is a weird experience. And I don't know how horrific this really is or ever is going to be. It feels like I spent my entire childhood thinking the Seventh Guest series, as it were these two games, were way more horrific than they really are. And that has a lot to do with the art on the box and the logo. They were definitely selling it as a not for kids, but we really want kids to play this game experience. I definitely played some other games that were very generic, boring, and dull, and had heavy metal style art on their covers. One I remember in particular had like a pentagram carved into the flesh of a hand as the cover, and the game itself was just a generic, I think, Gauntlet clone or RPG.
Hello, Marie.
Where's Chuck?
I thought maybe you were here to see me.
You wish. Is he in his office?
He's got a meeting in 5
There's
minutes. He hasn't
some
got time for
odd sexuality in this footage. Let's listen to that again. I kind of wish we had subtitles.
Hello, Marie.
Where's Chuck?
I thought maybe you were here to see me.
You wish. Is he in his office?
He's got a meeting in 5 minutes. He hasn't got time for you today, Marie.
Just tell him I need him.
So we have a Chuck and a Marie, and Chuck has an office. Marie seemingly is maybe a woman of ill repute. A heart attack could...
Attack could put you into the ground.
Interesting. They're gonna read that out. Okay. So let's see if we can figure out the solution to that puzzle. Because it does kind of seem like we are now trying to...
The bloodless type, are you?
Yeah, a lot of this game, I guess, just does boil down to that, doesn't it? That you will have to find the thing and click on the thing to get the next hint. I guess it's up to me to determine whether I want to... Ooh, I can actually go in this room now. No, I can't. And she's touching our heart.
Miss a beat, do you?
Let's look at the map. So they kind of want you just to wander around. A heart attack could put you into the ground. And I assume that's not supposed to be as obscure of a hint as the smoking pipes. So the ground, the globe, that makes sense. There must have just been more people that went to the house and got murdered. And boy, did that get cut off. Just, yeah, it's blood. I didn't click any buttons or anything. Just, they ran out of footage or ran out of daylight.
Yeah, it's blood.
So.
Battleground!
So the last hint was battleground. And now this hint is... So we have something else labeled ground. That those two hints should not have been that close together.
You and me, mano a mano, caro.
So yeah, I guess you're just wandering around.
You're such a grime.
And if he says something, you're wrong. And if he doesn't say something, then you're right. And he was insulting you for being wrong before you even knew what you were doing. A chessboard, I think, does kind of fall under the category of being a battleground. The problem you have here, if I am going to try to stay away from just using the walkthrough constantly and just cheat my way through this game. This is the first time I've played this game, so there is a slight reason here, I would say.
Something for your aching head?
I have a bit more of an excuse as to why I don't know the answers, but
At this pace, Robert will save you.
this is certainly not like super useful. Like, not a great experience. There definitely are a lot of games like this that came out during this time, puzzle games in particular, that had what often is referred to as moon logic, in the sense that only the creators of the games would have a clue. Moon logic as in lunacy. There's like a famous example of a point and click adventure that you had to get a mustache, but they didn't tell you you needed to get a mustache, and to get a mustache you use like tape on a cat to rip off some of the cat's fur, and then you put the fur on your face, and like none of that's explained at all.
Would Jennings have made that mistake?
Don't even know who Jennings is. I don't even know if that's a named character.
You're grasping at straws.
And he's totally right. Like, he is totally right that I am just grasping at straws. Says here, over here, I can now go through this door. So yeah, it's totally no surprise that I'm having trouble figuring out what to do when every single door is blocked to you until you get the hint to tell you to go somewhere. And you pretty much would have had to play the first game, and frankly you probably would have had to play the first game, really liked it, played it, and then immediately played the 11th hour, because there's a lot of references here that you'd only remember if you had played the first game within the past week or so. And yeah, I've kind of totally forgotten this. This is also one of the weirdest areas that dangerously might lead into the laboratory. I think also there was like a drop that maybe they're just going to conveniently ignore. But yeah, it's very weird to have a secret chapel inside your mansion. Like, and yeah, we can see the lab is marked, so it's fairly obvious what's gonna happen there. And seems like the map doesn't want to really work. So I guess maybe these rooms are just going to fill in rather quickly. Hey, what are we up to? We have an empty, we have a blank, we have an A and A and A. And then we'll just name it 5 and 5. And that works.
Keep trying, Carl. You're getting closer.
And yeah, that's gonna be it for this recording. I don't see a reason to go any further. We'll try to have at least a few episodes here, even with the game being super short depending on whether you want to wander around the game and waste your time or not. Looking here, it does seem to me like we maybe have one or two more puzzles and then we get to a second act. And then we've got 3 or 4 more puzzles and then we get to a third act. And then we've got 3 or 4 puzzles and we get to a fourth act. And then we got 3 more puzzles in a fifth act. And apparently you get the option to choose between 2 endings. Not that I think the story is going to build up too much of a story. I mean, they're trying their best, but all the story is just pre-rendered videos instead of being... Oh, I don't know how you would do it normally. I guess you would just have characters standing around talking to you, maybe in text form, not even recording audio during this time. Something closer to like a visual novel type experience. And a game like this, if it was modernly made, it almost certainly would be close to an escape the room visual novel adventure experience, half story and then half simplistic puzzles. And I guess that is why you don't see a lot of games like this. Or you might make something like this closer to one of the horror games where you could just asset flip a lot of elements and make a giant big creepy mansion, kind of like Resident Evil, and then have people run around avoiding monsters or run around shooting monsters, very much like Resident Evil. Almost certainly there was some influence on Resident Evil and this game. I would have to assume that there was some intermingling of thoughts there. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.